everyone, it's Sharonda from Pay or Weeks, and today I'm going to be reviewing Charmed Season 1, Episodes 3 through 6. Okay, so I know I've been behind y'all, so I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick recap of Episodes 3 to 6, and then I'll actually be watching the episode that came on last night. As soon as I'm done recording, I'll post a separate review for that. So let's go ahead and get into it. So for the purpose of this review, I'm going to focus on the characters themselves and then go into the demons that they've been fighting and kind of give my feedback, my thoughts on how I feel like these past couple of episodes have been. So we're going to start with Macy. So Macy, I actually like where they're going with her story arc. So Macy, we see in episode 3, we see that they're trying to find the Harbinger. And so the Harbinger's taking over Angela's body, their friend. And so essentially, as they're trying to do the spell to keep the Harbinger out, they realize that the spell doesn't take because the Harbinger's inside. So they're like, hey, how are we going to lure a Harbinger? Maggie's like, where are we going to find a virgin's blood? And then Macy's like, me? And then they looking at her like, and she looking like it's something wrong with being a virgin. So we find out that Macy's a virgin, and during the course of this episode, we see the tension between her and Galvin. Galvin's obviously interested in her. Macy is interested in him. She's just nervous, y'all, and so she invites him to the Halloween party because Maggie decides that she's going to throw the Kappa party at their house to get around the no booze rule on campus. And so we see that Galvin's kind of getting upset with her. She was looking like a little snack. He looked at her like, hey, cutie. He say that. That's what he should have said. But I think he did tell her that she looked beautiful. So basically, she invited him to the party, and so he's been trying to hang out with her the entire night, and she's like, oh, I gotta do something with my sisters. Oh, I gotta do something with my sisters. And so Galvin's like, look, if you want to hang out with your sisters so bad, go be with your sisters because I'm finna get the hell on. He didn't say that, but that's what he should have said. And so basically, she tells him, no, just wait. And we see, like, after they get done dealing with the Harbinger and stuff, that she goes and she kisses Galvin. So I'm like, okay, they got their stuff together. They're going to go ahead and be booze and stuff. And I was like, all right, I'm here for this. But then that didn't happen because the next episode, Galvin's trying to, like, invite her out. He invites her to this homecoming tailgate. She's like, I gotta do something with my sisters. What she did, they were trying to kill the Harbinger at the full moon. But he's just like, this girl keep pushing me to the left every single time I ask her to do something. So obviously she's not interested. So we see that in the next episode, Galvin got a new little boo thing, okay? And she was cute too. She was real cute. And he was acting different and stuff. And Macy's like, he acting different. I was like, that's because he got that new boo thing. That's not even a song, but yes. So he has a new boo, Macy and her feelings, because she was like, so we just kissed, and then all of a sudden you find another boo, and he was like, pump your brakes, boo, pump your brakes, because I've been asking you out, trying to like take things to the next step so we can date, and then you've been playing me to the left. So did I get my signals crossed? And then she didn't have nothing to say. He was like, okay then. So he with his boo, and then she's been all weird about it. So they end up going, I don't know what event they were at, but they're at this event because she feels like Galvin's been acting different, which he has. He just doesn't really care. He showed up late to a presentation. Obviously, he looked hungover. And so basically, they meet the new girl, and she thinks that she's some type of demon because she sees when they're kissing, and she's just being a little creeper watching them kiss, that he has like a mark on his body. And so Maggie convinces her like, hey, she's some type of little thing. And so they go read this spell. They go to this man's house, read this spell. The girl opened the door. She obviously with a t-shirt with no panties on, because they was like getting busy because he come out in a towel and stuff. And so Macy sees the symbol, but she asks Maggie. Maggie doesn't see it. The girl looking at her crazy because she just put some type of little voodoo curse on her or whatever. And so the girl, I thought, was actually nice to her, which I wouldn't have done. She basically tried to save face for Macy, and it's like, hey, I left my wallet. She just brought it here. And so she left. And then she talks to Harry about it, and Harry's like, well, no, I think you might be onto something. And so then he tells her to go to this little psychic lady who was charging $20 for 10 minutes. I said, girl, what kind of, are you about to change my life in 10 minutes for $20? And so she ends up telling her, like, hey, there's evil inside of you. I sense evil. And so Macy's looking like, and I'm looking like, And so then we see that in a flashback for the episode when they're dealing with this crazy little Kappa spirit trying to kill people. We see that when Macy and Maggie go back into time, we see that their mother's having a conversation with one of her friends, and she's pregnant with Macy, and she's just saying something doesn't feel right about this pregnancy. I can't put my finger on it, but something just doesn't feel right. And so we think that that's her alluding to that she felt some type of evil presence within her body. But I'm trying to figure out who your daddy did, because I'm trying to figure out who the hell you messing with that you got evil inside of you, boo-boo. What was your mama doing? I don't understand. But I'm excited to see Macy's character being developed a little bit more, because I thought they was going to keep her trapped inside this, my mother abandoned me and I'm super smart and I'm going to give a scientific explanation for everything. But I like how everything is balancing out, and how kind of her discovering what this evil is inside of her kind of is giving her answers as to why her mother would have possibly put her up for adoption. And then we also see that Charity has a conversation, one of the elders has a conversation with Macy and lets her know that her mom asked her to do a spell to take the pain away, which we know probably has to deal with when she had to give Macy up. So I like how they're kind of intertwining all of these different things to help flesh out Macy's character. So next we're gonna talk about Maggie, because Maggie been through some stuff, y'all. So Maggie trying to like pledge the sorority, and so it's messing up the work that she's doing with her sisters, because we saw them, they were trying to, when Harry put them in a simulation to try to figure out how they're gonna defeat this demon, this girl answered her damn phone, then she ended up getting stabbed and like almost died. I was like, girl, it ain't that serious. It can wait, boo-boo. So then we see that she's trying to get in good with Lucy. Lucy is the head over the sorority she's trying to get into. She's just like, hey girl, I'm sitting up here trying to advocate for you, but you be coming late to meetings, you missing meetings, you be out of sight, out of mind, and I can't convince everybody else to let you in. You're going to have to do that. So one of the ways that she tries to get back into their good graces is she says, hey, you guys can have the Halloween party at my place so then we can have liquor. And so she's like, girl, if you do this, you're gonna be a shoo-in. So we see that she does this glamour spell to make everything look nice, and she has this little Cinderella thing, and so we see that that ends up interfering, and Harry told her there would be consequences with this glamour spell, so we see it ends up interfering when they're trying to defeat the Harbinger, and so she hurt herself with the stupid spell. And then we see in the course of the party, she sees Parker. So Parker is the guy that she ran into when she was working. Somebody's being evil towards her. He took up for her, but then we later found out that Parker is actually Lucy's boyfriend, so that's a no-no. So then we see that they kind of have some chemistry with one another, and then in the episode when they're actually trying to perform the exorcist to get the Harbinger out of Angela's body, who it took over, we see that in order to stop him from going into the room where they're doing the exorcism, that she ends up kissing him. And I was like, girl, you didn't have to kiss him, but I mean, go ahead and kiss him. Like, go ahead, take what you want. But we see that that has bad repercussions because she feels guilty about it. Lucy was actually trying to help her because she's ended up failing her history class, and she said, hey, Parker can help you. He's really good at history. He can help you study. And so she just feels so guilty because Lucy's being such a good friend to her. And then she ends up asking her, like, hey, can you find out who he cheated on me with? Because he broke up with me and it just makes no sense. So I know I know he cheated, so find out who it is. So Maggie is just overcome with guilt, and so she eventually ends up telling Lucy that she kissed Parker. Lucy is like, oh, hell no, you can kiss Cap goodbye. I don't want nothing else to do with you. You supposed to be my friend. And then they're not friends anymore, so Maggie's depressed because she really wanted to join the sorority, and all of her chances are ruined. She ends up telling Parker, like, hey, I'm just going to study on my own. I know that I can get a good grade by myself. And I was like, look at you, taking, you know, control of your own destiny. You can do this by yourself. You don't need Parker to help you, boo. And so I thought it was really cute that when Mel realizes, like, hey, I didn't realize how important this was to you, and I really dismissed it. And then she comes up with the little fake sorority. I thought that was a super cute way to try to cheer her sister up. But can we talk about how I want them to find Maggie some cuter love interest? I just don't know how I feel. I'm not feeling the, like, oh, he fine. Like, I feel like the demon's looking better than the people they be trying to hook Maggie up with. So I just want them to do a little bit better with that. But I like where Maggie's character is right now. She's a freshman. She don't really know what's going on in her life. So the fact that she's caught up by superficial things, thinking that she needs to be in the sorority, always attached to her phone, it makes sense for her character. It was a little annoying to me at first. But as a freshman, that's pretty much like, you don't know what you're trying to do with your life. So I actually don't mind her character at all. But last but not least, let's go what's been going on with Mel these past couple episodes, because Mel is probably the one who annoys me the most. And it's because I feel as though with their writing, they're trying too hard to make her a feminist character. And I feel like it's giving feminists a bad name. Like, they think that people just walk around talking like this all day. That's not true. So basically with her, she's in a relationship with Nico, which I still do not find believable, because Nico fine, y'all. Nico real fine. She's beautiful. But I just don't feel the chemistry with them, like, on screen. It's just not believable. Like, they're forcing it somehow. So essentially, they're in their relationship. But her and her partner, Nico and her partner Trip, have been investigating the disappearance of Angela, and they're trying to figure out what happened to her. Of course, they got Angela up in their basement because they're waiting on the elders to tell them what to do with the Harbinger who's taking over Angela's body. So, you know, this kind of puts not really a rift, but Mel feels bad for lying to Nico. And so essentially, Trip is following them because Trip just don't trust them. And basically Nico is just like, Nico makes a comment, and this goes into when I was like, look, there's a difference between checking a box, trying to be woke, trying to be feminist. When she makes a comment to him, he's like, I just don't trust them. She's like, well, people of color just don't trust cops themselves. They feel nervous around them. And I was like, you're right. But I feel like a different character should have said that. Like, especially since you're a cop. I just don't know how believable that was for Nico to say something like that. And it just felt like, oh, y'all trying to be woke. Okay, yay, because y'all trying to be woke today. So Trip ends up dying because Trip's following them, and he goes in and he sees them performing this exorcist on Angela. And so basically he ends up getting hit by a pipe and dies. And then the elder Charity covers it up, and it basically says that he was behind all of the murders. He kidnapped Angela, killed all these people, which sends Nico off the deep end because she's just like, this is my partner and I feel bad. Like, she's distraught. And then even Mel is having a hard time with it because she knows it's a lie, and she feels bad because her girlfriend is in pain, and she caused this pain because they told Mel to back down, but she didn't want to do that. And so essentially, in an effort to protect Nico, because we see in another episode that one of the demons sends a shapeshifter who looks like Trip. And so Nico's basically going to investigate, like, is Trip really behind all of this? What's going on? She finds out a connection to her Mel's mom's murder as well. And so while she's doing this, demon tries to set the house on fire. Nico almost died. Then she goes to the hospital, and then somebody attacked Mel because she sees that the shapeshifter is trying to hurt Nico again. And so in an effort to protect Nico, Mel decides that she's going to do a spell to basically make it as if they never met. And so this has repercussions, as Harry tells them, and basically things change. Like, Mel doesn't have her job. Little subtle instances change, but everyone still has their memory. So Mel is basically dealing with the heartbreak that she remembers everything about Nico, but she can't be with her because she loves her and she wants to protect her. So that's kind of what she's going through. But as I said, they just need to tone her character down. Also, too, she made a comment when Harry tried to help her with the salt in episode 3, Sweet Tooth. She was like, I don't need no man to help me. I was like, girl, he just trying to help you with the salt. I ain't trying to do no extra work. Let him put the damn salt down, because he is the one who's training you guys on how to do this stuff. So I just felt like that was another time. It just wasn't like, that wasn't the time. I think she called him like a white devil or a white savior or something, or white man. She called something another, but so I was just like, this is just too much, y'all. It's too much. Just bring her down a couple of notches, because I think Mel is a great character, and I think that I love the feminist part of her, but it's not feeling natural. It's feel like she's trying too hard to be a feminist, and I really want them to change that with her character. But I do like how Harry's very hard on Mel, and he has a discussion that, hey, I'm hard on you because you remind me of someone else that I was training, and she ended up telling people who she was, and she got committed to an insane asylum, and he is just like, I'm really just trying to look out for you. And so I like that kind of dynamic of him being harder on Mel, trying to make sure, because she is like a little immature at times because she just be doing too much. But I hope that they just tone her down on the feminist side and just have it make sense. Like when she was talking to Charity and telling Charity about how she feels as though that, you know, you run this company based on women empowerment. And I thought that was cool. Like, that was a subtle way to introduce, like, being for women in the episode, like by what Charity, the elder, what she does in her cover job, her full-time job. And I thought it was cool how Mel felt like she had to advocate for Angela, because Angela is one of the ones who actually came to her mother and Mel to tell her about the harassment that happened with her, and Mel encouraged her to to speak out on it. And so that's why she felt so compelled to try to help Angela. So I felt like that whole part of like helping your fellow sister out, I feel like that worked, and it was well done and so subtle that that's what they need to stick to with her character, because that makes more sense for something that Mel would do. Another thing I thought was cool, speaking with Harry, is just the fact that they kind of go into his life before being a White Lighter, how he basically did something heroic and the elders brought him back to life, but he had to give up the memories of his past life. And so he kind of talked about that as he's telling them, you know, telling Mel about the consequences of the spell. And I thought it was cool how he had him living with them. And he busted the door on Macy. I was like, yeah, you don't know about no closed doors. You don't knock. You don't do nothing. You didn't think you need to do all of that. And so I thought it was cool. And I was so sad when he was like, oh, I got to move out. They said, y'all don't need my protection like that. And then how they made him an honorary sister, the little sorority. I thought it was super cute. And I actually like Harry. Like, Harry's a character. I always like him. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm trying to think what else. I thought it was super cool as they were dealing with the Harbinger, and we found out that their mom had the gift of prophecy. And so she knew that this was going to happen. I thought it was so cool that the spell that they had to do to get the demon out of Angela, that it was in Spanish. Now that was super cool. Watching these 3 Spanish women, like in the Afro-Latina, I thought that was so cool, watching them speak Spanish to get the demon out. And then the fact that nobody else could read it, that it was specifically created for them by their mother. That is more of the stuff that I really need to see. And I really hope that more of their culture comes out. I know there's been subtle things like the spell, and then like we see some of the flags and stuff, but I really want them to talk more about their culture. And I hope maybe they'll dive more into being an Afro-Latina as we try to figure out what's going on with Macy and her storyline. But overall, the episodes are getting better. I'll be back on track reviewing these episodes. I know they ordered a couple of more episodes, so those are pretty much my thoughts on Charmed Season 1, Episodes 3 through 6. As always, my name is Sharona from Pay Your Weights, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit the notification bell, and I will see you soon.